Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite common because you can't really, it's just a small device, and a lot of clubs, they're bunging on without realising that it has to go the right way around, otherwise the vision gets blocked. So you now should see that there's, on the side of your encoder, actually let me find an image. If you look at the side of the encoder on the small LED display, you should see TX number, and that's telling us the signal strength.
Okay, yeah. It's looking like 174. No, 1892, 1591, 1629, 1892.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Basically, so this is the side of the encoder. So when you first turn the kit on, you actually get quite a lot of useful information in that display because, first of all, you've got the charging icon.
Yep.
There are two ways you can tell your encoder is charging. There's also a battery light on the top of the encoder. You've got the 4G lights, Wi-Fi lights, and a battery light on the streaming light.
Yeah.
When it starts streaming, that green flow light starts flickering.
Yeah.
But you can this display shows you it's charging. When it says source, if the number begins 1080, that means that the encoder is receiving vision from the camera.
Okay.
If it begins 720, it means it's not receiving any vision from the camera.
Yeah.
And the TX, as long as that's over 800, that should be a smooth stream.
Okay, good. Yep.
So if you ever turn the kit on and find the TX is about 0 or 1, that means it's not started streaming yet.
Okay.
So basically, it will start streaming. Our system is set up to begin. So basically, what happens is when we put a match into the system, our stream management software will basically assign that stream to a server 1 hour before the match is due to start.
Yep.
So our system pulls the start time from Play Cricket.
Yep.
But we can manually change it. So if you ever need to start a bit earlier, it's pretty easy for us to do that.
Okay.
And 1 hour before, then basically the servers kick in, and the stream gets assigned to a server.
Yep.
If you then turn your encoder on within that hour, then it should automatically just start sending data to that server.
Okay.
If you turn it on before that hour, then there's no server yet that's been assigned to the stream, so it won't actually start sending.
Yep.
So as long as the encoder gets turned on or restarted within the hour before the match is due to start, you should see that flow light start flickering and that TX will jump up.
Yep.
And anything above 800 is a healthy TX.
Yep. Perfect.
So the other thing that's worth noting is in order to get through the match, let's have a look. What am I going to look for here? Let's see if I've got an image of the battery. Here we go. All right. So the battery, the battery pack has got three ports in it, and they all give a very different charges.
Okay.
So the one on the left next to the DC input, that is a variable smart port that actually can give out the most amount of charge out of the 3 ports of the battery pack.
Yep.
So that's a pretty good port to use for either the camera or the encoder. The middle port only gives out a 1 amp charge.
Okay.
And the port on the right gives out a 2.1 amp charge. And if one of the devices is very low on battery, it might try to draw more than... So, for example, we used to say put the encoder in the middle port and the camera in the 2.1 amp port. But what we are finding is, if the encoder, for example, is on 0% battery and you plug it into the 1 amp port, it tries to draw more than 1 amp.
Yeah.
And if the battery pack has a device plugged in that tries to take more power than the port is designed to give out, then the battery pack will just turn itself off.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, what we've found is it's best to just ignore the middle port completely, because if you use the 2 outer ports, then neither device will ever try to draw too much charge, and it shouldn't ever switch itself off.
Okay.
There's actually going to be just prior to the season starting, there's going to be a refresher webinar for anyone who wants to attend it.
Okay.
So if you've got anyone at the club that fancies learning a little bit about the system, and how you put in match requests, sponsorship requests, and then set your kit up, then we'll be sending out some comms in the next few weeks, I would have thought.
Okay, yeah, yep.
And then if you miss it or some people can't attend it, then we will record the session and it'll be available on YouTube somewhere.
Perfect, yep.
So far, it's looking pretty good. So you're monitoring the TX. The YouTube stream actually seems to, if I go back to so I'm seeing some rafters at the moment.
Yeah, that's the roof of the scorebox. I can move it around a little bit.
So far, it's looking pretty good. So
Good.
This looks like a pretty good setup.
Great.
You guys, I think you've already sent your season match requests, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done the first and second team. We're just waiting on the Sunday team, but then that'll be them all done then.
Yeah. And then, if you need to make any changes, you just submit the kits, and then if it's within 5 days, then there's a possibility that especially right at the beginning of the season, we usually get smashed with thousands of requests all coming in simultaneously. So if you find yourself sending in a request within the 5-day period and you haven't heard from us yet, feel free to drop a line in WhatsApp just to say, hey guys, here's our ticket number, could you have a look at this? Because with WhatsApp, then we receive that instantaneously, whereas with the ticketing system, we're working constantly through all this newest, and it can be time consuming, especially at the beginning of the season, but feel free in an emergency, just use WhatsApp rather than stay quiet and just use the ticketing system.
No, that's fine, yeah.
So I think you're all good. And then also, if you've got any sponsors or changes to sponsors, send us your graphics, and we can get some sponsors banners up there.
Yeah, I sent a couple through, but we're still working on that, so hopefully I'll be able to send some more through as well before the start of the season.
No worries. Well, this is looking good. So what I'll do is I'll just end this test stream unless you want to keep it running for a bit longer.
No, it's fine. Yeah.